not a Cricketune video. It's a Pokemon Cries video, if the clickbait didn't tell you that already. Is it just me, or are we getting better at clickbait? Masturbate. So apparently Pokemon Cries are a really hot topic. I mean, so controversial right now. Oh, it's everywhere. Like if I say that Skuntank's cry, if I were to say that it's good, awful, you would agree, right? You see, people have tastes, and sometimes those tastes are not the same. I know, how terrible. So much for my shared consciousness theory, but it's this conflict that makes you want to watch content about it, huh? What will I say about your favorite Pokemon cry? Will I personally diss you because I think differently about a 2-second audio file? Or will we agree and all is well with the world? Well, who knows? Let's talk about some interesting Pokemon cries. Okay, so back in the old Booma days, we had Gen 1. None of this multi-generation trash we have now. Back in my day, Pokemon sounded like real animals. Wait, no, they sounded like actual monsters. None of this, oh, it's a bird and it sounds like a bird garbage. I'm talking rhinos that sounded like grinding metal and screaming. Yep, that's the good stuff. Aged like a fine wine. What did you say? You know, as bad as that cry was, I'm pretty sure ghosts, if they were real, would sound just like that. But secretly, though, I don't like the Ghosts Gen 1 cry. But if you didn't know, it's just fun to make fun of Gen 1 lovers. But hey, the Game Boy only had enough room for so many garbled noises. In fact, there was only enough room for 37 unique cries in Gen 1. 6 pairs of Pokemon share the exact cries, and the rest are just pitch shifted in length and tone and all that to try to make them sound different, but they're not. Here's an example. Goldeen and Caterpie. A fish and a bug, they're the same thing. Ammonite and Machop. Tentacles are just humans. Charizard and Rhyhorn. Yeah, the big flagship dragon fire lizard sounds the same as a stupid rhino that people ride around on, and many, many more. Actually, I wonder if there are any lore reasons behind these similarities. That could be a fun video. Another interesting fact is that a lot of Pokemon share cries with their evolutions, just pitch shifted to sound bigger because, like, it just gets bigger. And interestingly enough, nearly every regional form has the same cry as its original. Galarian Slowpoke is the only regional form to have a different cry from its normal form. Speaking of Gen 8 though, I feel like its cries were sort of too simple. Like, it's just throw a bunch of simple noises into an audio file and that's the cry. They seem less iconic than Gen 3 and 4 in my opinion. Take versus is just the sort of sci-fi noises. Where's the soul? Then again, Gen 4 did have. Actually, I'm just gonna say it. There are a lot of fart noises in Pokemon, okay? Skuntank, Stunky, Perugly. That's a juicy fart at the beginning. And then Trubbish and Garbodor. Then there's Stunfisk. Like, some of these make sense, but why do you have to do it, Game Freak? I suppose fart jokes are timeless, plus these are the worst offenders on our list. There are plenty more, but thankfully we're done with that. Here's a fun fact. Jinx has the longest cry versus Pidgey, who has the shortest. 2 seconds compared to 0.2 seconds. Do you know how many Pidgeys you can stuff into a Jinx? That many. It's really interesting because all of these calls sound so much longer in our head, but realistically, most of them aren't that long. Oh, hang on. My phone's ringing. Oh, nope. It's a frog that vibrates water. I thought it was my phone. I really like the idea behind Jinx's cry being so long, though. It's like it's singing. Same for Meloetta and Milotic. Milotic. Whichever pronunciation you prefer. Both are wonderful. And also, yeah, Primarina. It's especially good because it's like a whistle trying to get your attention, as a prima donna diva would want. Same with a siren trying to get the attention of the sailors. It's nice. Abra has another commonly loved cry, it seems, and I know why. It actually sounds interesting for an early generation Pokemon cry. Instead of just screaming or mangled noise, it sort of is like a roar or call. Actually, the whole line is pretty good, even with the newer sounds. Hang on. Actually, why do all the psychic Pokemon slap, like Drowsy and Hypno? Same with Musharna's. It's so pretty and hypnotizing, and Gothitel's also super unique, but they feel perfect for the psychic type. LGM and BEM are also perfect UFO noises. And actually, Mewtwo's Gen 1 cry is something else. It just so perfectly makes it feel like a real legendary ultra final boss hidden away in a cave. Chills every time. Also, Regice gives me the chills every time, and according to Yeast McGeast, amazing name by the way, Regice's cry has some cool filtering going on from a technical perspective. Mono phaser peaks, formant filtering, comb filtering, and probably a bit of pitch bending, all moving downwards in unison. Not gonna lie, I'm not much of an audiophile, so I have no idea what any of that means, but I do know that I just happen to really like headphones. Actually, are you listening to this video with headphones? Or some nice speakers instead? Well, if you happen to need some new headphones, today's sponsor is perfect. Radically cool, amazing, awesome, perfectly clear. These are all adjectives I'd use to describe these earbuds from Soundcore, a company by Anker, a company I'm a fan of actually. It's cool that they're getting into audio, except apparently they have been for a while. I've just been out of the loop. You see that? 20 million people enjoy their audio already. You can listen to these Pokemon Cries anywhere with their new Life P3 true wireless headphones. Actually, if you want, you could listen to Primarina singing for 7 hours continuously. And if you're on the go, the compact charging case extends that time all the way to 35 hours, more than a day and a half of cries. Now, do you want to really listen to the official Pokemon ASMR? Now you can! I should also mention the 11mm composite drivers and bass-up technology, because I don't know what that means beyond it's good. More relevant to me is the Find Me mode they've got. It lets you echolocate the buds, so you never lose them again. Plus, they come in many colors, so pick out your favorite with my link in the description and get your listening going. I hope you love them as much as I do. I can feel the individual bits and bytes with each cry. I swear I'm alright. Now, some of my favorite Pokemon cries are the ones with love woven into them. They just feel so right, and often use a mixture of generated sounds and actual animal calls, like Chatot cry. It's literally just a bird call, specifically the one it's based on, a parrot, except it's actually not, it's a cockatiel. But it's still a classic bird noise. A classic melodic cry. Melodic. And of course then there's always the cries
you hate.
Right? I already mentioned Haunter, and like, yeah, it hurts my ears. It's just screeches. But specifically, I also really hate Electabuzz. I love the Mon, but I hate the noise. Like, it's good, yeah, lightning noises and stuff, but it's just so ear-splittingly shrill.
Oh, and don't even get me started on the Dynamax Pokemon Cries.
Oh hi, Hoops and Hip Hop, PokeTuber who has more experience with audio than me since you make so many good remixes of Pokemon music. Yes, please tell us about Dynamax Cries.
Don't mind if I do. So naturally, when Pokemon Dynamax and get all huge, their cries get significantly
Deeper and also slow down.
This is what's known as time stretching and pitch scaling. It works so well in this situation because in general, when your larynx gets bigger and your vocal cords lengthen and thicken, your voice naturally tends to get deeper, which is definitely going to be the case for these giant Dynamaxed Pokemon. Now they also add an echo effect to the Dynamax cries, which is also very fitting because much of the Dynamaxing that happens in raid dens and or caves, so naturally the echoing makes a lot of sense. And all of this kind of comes together to create some really interesting cries, including Dynamax Magnezone. It's just laughing like a maniac. It sounds like some villain in a Super Nintendo RPG. And even small, cute Pokemon, the little small, tiny, cute ones, start to sound all dark and frightening when they're Dynamaxed. Or also like a bunch of metal scraping. I can't really decide which. And then Rookidee is also literally just someone messing around with a theremin.
Actually, speaking of deep and darker cries, I really like Giratina's, especially when you hear it slowed down. Here it is normally. And now slow it down. It's so spooky and good.
That is, pretty terrifying, so yeah, I'm gonna have to go.
Oh, well, thanks for stopping by in this cross-promotional cameo. If you're interested in the potential World War II references in Hoenn, Hoops and I did a video about that over on his channel. Check it out. Now, okay, because this video has already gone on pretty long, I'm gonna have to cut it short by doing our patent-pending quickfire round, pointing out some other favorite cries of mine, like Cubchoo. Sneezes. This is very cute. Probopass. Just listen to that mustache sing, brother. Tynamo. If you repeat it, sounds like a cop with a taser. Stoutland. It's just a dog. Not my favorite, it's noteworthy because it's just a dog. Shelmet. It's the squeaky boots from SpongeBob. Snorlax. It's so lazy. Its cry is just puh. Or maybe puh. And now, I think Stuffle's cry is the cutest thing ever, and you can't change my mind. Arceus. What a follow-up. It has its own drum roll. What a god. Crocodile. It's just an electric guitar. Delphox. He's trying to throw something up. Phantom. Ooh, it's a spooky ghosty. A classic ooh sound. It's also really cute. You think that's just ooh woo, but slowed down. Mimikyu. Sounds like it's trying to say Pikachu. Speaking of Pikachu.
Pikachu!
Why does it get the special anime treatment?
Pikachu!
Don't answer that. It was a rhetorical question. Drifloon seems to sort of say its name, in its Japanese name. Fawante. I can hear it, sorta. Same with Clefairy. Its Japanese name is Pee-Pee. Manectric. Sounds like a transformer. Gallade's last bit sounds like a sword slash. And then Aegislash is just sword noises. It's just, I like it. It's perfect. And then, really cool thing, all of the Ultra Beasts, they all end with that same similar kind of sound. As do Solgaleo and Lunala. Which sort of is confirming, or at least adding to, the theory that they are Ultra Beasts. They just showed up in Alola way, way ahead of time. And now, a Pokemon I hate, but love the cry of. It's Snover. What? Okay, sure, it's a really fun sound. I love it. It sounds great. It makes my ears and my mouth and my whole brain really, really happy, but what does that have to do with a tree? Okay, rant over. Now, I know it's not in the games, but if I don't mention it, it's what all the comments are going to be. But Palkia's cry from the anime is also the Boga from Star Wars. And this thing from Crossange. Actually, a lot of anime cries are just stock sound effects that are used in kaiju movies. We did a whole video about that here, but in the anime, the cry that it's in my head, rent-free, always, forever, is the good old Diglett Dig, Diglett Dig, trio. Diglett Dig, Diglett Dig, trio. Just constant. It's always running in the background, and every now and again it just pops up. And then it goes back away, just like a Diglett popping out of the ground. But thankfully, these Soundcore earbuds are great at providing relief by delivering extra clear music to my eardrums. So get yourself some with the link in the description. And until next time, never stop using your noggin. That was a lot harder than it should have been.